Hey, welcome back to MobilityWOD. Talking about some of the errors we see when athletes are mobilizing or kind of prepping. Some of the key features that we see is that when athletes are moving and they end up missing rotation, they miss that rotational component, you can't reclaim that rotational component. Remember, it's those elements of rotation that create stability in the joint. I can't put my arm over my head with load and then bring my armpit forward. I need to be thinking about bringing my armpit forward as I go over my head. This is why coaches will say things like slam your shoulder or elbow forward to create that extra rotation. So one of the things we see is that, for example, when athletes are going overhead trying to improve their overhead position with some distraction, right now the palm is facing down and I'm in an internally rotated position. I cannot reclaim this position at this point. I need to go ahead and prioritize the rotation first, boom, and then capture. And then when you start reading things like anatomy trains, you're going to realize, what we're really doing is talking about the fascial planes, the fascial rotation, the joint stability, all of the mechanics in this position. So prioritize rotation first, then wind that thing up. The same thing is true as we, sorry about the machine in the background, but the same thing is true when we squat. I can't get my knees out at the bottom, it's too late. I need to be starting rotation and thinking about entering the tunnel with the knee out position, cultivating torque as I go. So let's take this idea of here into extension, a stable position for the shoulder extensions into rotation. We've got Justin here. He's going to wind up. This is a great time for a super friend. So now, one of the things we're working on with Justin is just tying in all these kind of fascial components together, really working on just the extension into rotation. Now, all I'm going to do is prioritize the internal rotation on him. So go ahead and internally rotate. First, elbow straight. Now he can start winding that up. So this is tricky to do by yourself with the other hand, but we're prioritizing the internal rotation here. If given his natural tendencies, he's always going to unload that rotation because it gives it more space in the joint. So what we need to do is add the rotation first, elbow straight, then he backs off. And then the second piece is you're seeing how he's trying to solve this problem. I'm missing extension, I'll go around it. So he's being aware of keeping that shoulder back. I'm just holding him here. This is what prevents this from being sketchy, is that he can get out of this position at any time. This is basically self-Kimura if we were doing jiu-jitsu. The issue is that as a super friend, all I'm doing is helping him maintain that internal rotation as he goes into that extended position. Now he can tie the neck in and we work that in. He can contract and relax in there. What are you contracting and relaxing?
My neck.
Everything, right? The whole system. My neck-ish, right? What, you're not your splenic, coli? Not liver. That's right, liver. Contract your liver. So the issue is capture that internal rotation, capture the extra rotation, make sure you're hitting the rotational components first because they create the greatest stability. And it's loss of that stability, loss of that capacity to generate that torque and torsion force that makes me unstable. See you guys tomorrow.